the current head trainer of the Mandingo Warrior from Austin, Texas, Mr. James Kirkland. Well, the young aspiring fight trainer, Mr. Rick Morones Jr. Rick, how the heck are you this evening, brother?
I'm good, Joseph. How you doing?
Well, doing great now that you were able to join us. Man, it's been a very interesting last couple weeks, hasn't it, man, in San Antonio?
Yeah, definitely, man. It's been very, very interesting, having Kirkland down for training camp and stuff. But, things are getting done and things are getting situated very well here, so.
Well, it's great. And obviously there's been a lot of, negative press about James. And obviously when the news was released that he was going to no longer be working with Miss Ann Wolfe, his longtime trainer from Austin, former 5-time women's world champion, and everyone seems to think, Rick, that this is a foregone conclusion. Well, how have you, James, and strength and conditioning coach Bebe McClinton, how have you guys been handling this negative media?
Well, to be honest with you, we've been, we all have our assignments right now with James. Bebe McClinton is handling the conditioning. I've been given the head trainer position, and we have Gerald Tucker alongside helping us out. So, everybody knows his position. We're not buying into none of the negativity. We expect that, so it's not something that's bothering our training camp or affecting us in any way at all. Last time I checked, I lived in the land of opportunity, so I've been given an opportunity and assignment to do something, and that's helped James Kirkland be victorious May 9th, so people are going to write what they want, he can't win with Ann Wolfe, or, I don't know what happened in that situation. It's none of my business. The best thing I can do, like I said, is have James prepared for victory May 9th.
Absolutely, and there was a lot of attention to his weight when he showed up in San Antonio to announce the fight at a Le Habitat Golden Boy event, I guess about a month ago now. And a lot of people were writing that he was up to 200 pounds. Rick, was that the case? Was that largely exaggerated? And how's he looking now? What's his focus?
Well, for the people that thought he was 200 pounds, they were wrong. He was actually 230. So, no, I'm joking. He's fine, man. The weight, it's, like I said, people want to make comments and spread rumors and spread things that are not true. James is not heavy, and, we have a press conference coming up this week. And I think there's going to be a lot of eyes open this week when they see James, if they did see him that night. Like I said, at that night at the event, I wasn't, we weren't, he hadn't developed this team that he has around him now. So I'm not sure exactly what he was weighing that night, and 80% of people that said are probably taking their educated guess, If I don't know the fact, I'm not gonna put my nose where it don't belong. So, he was false. Like I said, he's not that heavy, and he's not now. And like I said, this week, people are going to be surprised, man. He's been training really hard. He's been focused, and he knows what this fight means to him. This is pretty much his biggest fight of his life, and and he's focused. Like I said, he's focused and he's happy. He's really happy in camp. He comes to the gym smiling, and and that's what it's about. That's what it's about. It's about James being focused and being happy with the people that are surrounding him. So like I said, people are going to make the negative comments. But, the weight at that time, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and say because I don't know. But, I know right now I can say, confidently that he's not – I don't see a weight issue for this fight.
That is absolutely that's wonderful, man, for all of us fight fans because, well, first and foremost, we want to see the best version of James Kirkland show up at Minute Maid Park on May 9th. And obviously – this was originally supposed to be at the Alamo Dome on May 2nd, but with the announcement of Mayweather versus Pacquiao, this was pushed back to May 9th. So this even brings a much bigger audience to your efforts, Rick. this is probably going to have an audience on HBO of probably about, well, anywhere from 5 to maybe 10 million focused on the replay of Pacquiao Mayweather. But obviously they're going to want to stick around to see the fireworks in Houston, Texas, at the Astros home in the MLB, Minute Maid Park. What is that? I mean, have you guys soaked that all in yet? That this is going to be a massive fight audience, not only to see your fight, but the replay of Mayweather versus Pacquiao. So Canelo's event just yanked up to first class. Has that soaked in yet?
I mean, when you involving a guy like Canelo Alvarez, the event's going to be big, So, and I know, like you said, it's gotten a lot bigger. Right now, everything's been taken day by day. Every day in training camp, it's been pushing James and keeping him focused. And when that time comes, we'll be ready for that. Like I said, it's not, it's not something that, to make it real short, there's not really many distractions in this training camp. James has had that problem many times in his past. That's not the case here. The conditioning coach, Bebe McClinton, and I will get along perfectly fine. Gerald Tucker, he knows his role. Everything is just going really good right now, really smooth, and James is happy. Don't get me wrong. We're not, neither am I. We're not here to baby James. We're getting in his, in his butt as well. And we have him focused, and like I said, and he's prepared. I'm prepared. Bebe's prepared. Gerald's prepared. We're all prepared for the negative darts going to be thrown at us. But so with all these little things, like I said, that's another dart. People, how big the event's going to be, what's going to happen. Are these guys? He has the green corner. All kinds of things like that. But those are the moments where stars are made. And if I'd rather have 5 to 10 million people watching us make history together than 2 to 4. So we're soaking that in a positive way, and very excited for the opportunity.
That is a great frame of mind. I love it. I love the positive energy coming from you, Rick, at this time. Now, the last time you were on the program, I guess when you first got this assignment, we had you on the show, and after you left, I received a ton of emails asking, well, can you provide more background on the young trainer, Rick Morones Jr. from San Antonio? So could you actually tell us a little bit more about yourself? Rick, how did you get involved in the boxing industry? Were you a prize fighter at one time? Who trained you? And then how long have you been training before you actually got this assignment?
Yeah, I actually started boxing when I was 8 years old. It was something that, just like a lot of fighters, it's just something they wanted to get involved with, to stay out of trouble and do something. And, won the Golden Gloves a few times, state Golden Gloves, went to nationals 1 year. But, with all that happening, it was, it was one of them things where my heart was really never into it as a fighter, and my trainer was Jerry Villarreal. He was the trainer of Hector Macho Camacho. He trained him to 3 world titles for 10 years. He's actually now residing in Detroit, and his gym's actually down the street from the Crump Gym. But, so I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot, and the best part about, being with an experienced trainer like that was that I had him all to myself. We were training in a chiropractor office, just me and him. There was no other fighters. There was nothing, So I got to absorb.
Wow.
I got to absorb and be a sponge with him, and absorb a lot of knowledge throughout that time. And, so like I said, my heart was never in the fighting, and I grew a passion. Once I saw what he did with me, like I said, like most fighters, you walk in the gym, we don't know. Some of us have a fighting mentality. Some of us are there to, we're being bullied in school, so we're trying to learn how to defend ourselves. But, when I saw what he did with me, I was like, man, I said, you can have an effect on fighters' lives like this. You can actually teach these guys how to defend themselves and take them to the next level. And, so I stopped boxing. And, I told myself when I got out of high school, this is one thing a lot of people don't know, my family, I've made a lot of sacrifices, a lot of sacrifices to get to the point I'm at right now. And I'm still not where I'm at, but this is a start, this is the start for me to get my career on the road and show the world, that, I belong at this level. But, I've been a trainer now for 11 years, a professional trainer. I've had over 15, 16 pro fighters, and I've had guys locally here in San Antonio, Texas, come to me. I'm talking 4 or 5 losses in a row, and with their head down, saying, I don't know if I should retire. I don't have it no more. I've lost 4 or 5 fights in a row. I've been knocked out twice in a row, and as soon as they come into the gym, I start to work with these guys, and I mean the victories are just piling up. The little belts. I'm actually 7 for 7 in these little titles. The example I'm about to make is, we've won 3 Texas titles, 3 WBC, USMBC titles, and an NABU title. To the world that may not be a world title, or it might not mean what they want it to mean. But these are all guys. This is what's something that's got to be noted. These are all guys that were coming off losses. And every one of them belts were won with a big upset. I'm talking prospects. We've gone to California and upset prospects. We've gone everywhere and upset prospects. So it was something that just grew on me. And I've dedicated my life. I've dedicated my whole everything to the sport of boxing. So, people want to make their comments, or he's. I was actually in camp. I had another big opportunity this past year. I was contacted by W.A.W Jr, the former WBO world champion. They flew me to Mexico. I got to spend a whole month with Nacho Beristain in camp with Juan Manuel Marquez as he was preparing for Mike Alvarado. So you better believe, spending a month with Nacho, I was picking his brain every day. I was watching and I was a sponge. I was a sponge down there. So I was learning, and that's one thing that I have done throughout my career is build relationship with some of the top trainers in the world, and just, here and there little questions, that pile up, or just even to conversate, here just gone through in their career, from Joe Grusin to Mike Stafford to Floyd Mayweather Sr. to Emmanuel Stewart. I got to speak to Emmanuel Stewart one time in Corpus, and it was like my 3rd year as a trainer, if I can recall, when Fernando Vargas fought Raymond Joval at the American Bank Center in Corpus Christi. And he was the commentator with Larry Merchant, and he was sitting at a bar just chilling, watching TV, and I had a good 15 to 20 minutes with him. I still remember that time, and he was telling me a lot of things as well about the sport. And like I said, my knowledge and stuff like that it's been all bundled up in one ball, and just kind of sitting here waiting for an opportunity to showcase to the world what I can do. And like I said, I've had pros for 11 years, and that's pretty much, I haven't really been in the amateur game too many. It just, like I said, here in San Antonio locally, they started seeing the big difference in fighters, and pros just started, coming in the gym. I mean, I've even turned down a few just because I didn't have the time at the time to train so many of them. But, like I said, it's something that's just grown on me. It's a passion that I live every day with, so people, like I said, people are going to make their comments, and I'm not going to, that doesn't bother me. It's something, it's something something I carry deeply in my heart. Was I told Robert Garcia one time, I said, man, Rob, I said, it's crazy, man. You devote your whole self to a sport. You do so much things, so much sacrifices, and so much work, and somebody just wants to come and criticize you and make a negative remark, just like that. Like, they don't know what you've gone through to get to the point you're at. He said, man, I'm a trainer of the year. I've had the world champions, and they still say I suck. He said, don't worry about it, man. He goes, he goes, you're never gonna satisfy people. You're never gonna impress them. You're never gonna do those things. I mean, and it's just something that's always stuck with me. So I learned to just keep my grind, stay focused, have faith in my God, and just keep learning every day. So, and people got to realize James has been around for a long time. James has been in the sport for a long time. I wasn't here to fool him or anything. The shoe fit. It worked out. We get along very well. He likes what I teach him. I mean, it's everything's good. Everything is good right now. And like I said, you can't fool these guys who've been at this level this long. If it's not right, or it's the style's not fitting, or they see something that bothers them, hey, these guys are quick to walk out the door. And that has not happened. So, like I said, this is something that, if people do want to know. Like I said, I've been a trainer for 11 years. I've won a lot of minor titles, and I've been around many training camps, from Floyd Mayweather's training camp, like I said, Juan Manuel Marquez, up there. I spent a week with Freddie Roach when Miguel Cotto fought Martinez. Like I said, so, I've been around, and a lot of people in the industry, whether they know me or not, my name is a familiar, but I know to the global community, they don't know, so that's it. Bottom line is, been doing it 11 years, and I'm passionate, and I'm confident, and I'm ready to shock the world, I live in the land of opportunity, and I've been given one, so I'm just here to do my assignment, that's all.
Well, that's great, man. We love the positive energy, brother, that you're that you're exhibiting, man, and we love the idea that James is, to be honest with you, looking at this fight, right, and this is a very, very difficult assignment for a guy like James Kirkland. The style matchup I'm looking at, right? Obviously, James carries in both hands that ultimate neutralizer, which is that massive power that he has, where it doesn't even appear that he has to load up on any one shot to hurt his opposition. Is that power? I mean, how is it working in the gym? And do you sometimes have to actually just reel him in a little bit and, during camp and not go too hard on some of these sparring partners? Because I'm assuming you guys are already sparring right now, right?
Yeah, we've been sparring for a couple weeks now. Like I said, he's really focused on this fight. He knows the magnitude of this fight and what it could do to his career. So yeah, we've been training hard. We've been hitting hard for about a month already, and but yeah, man, it's ridiculous. I've never seen that live. Joseph, the power is just amazing. I mean, these sparring partners fall like dominoes, man, in and out. I mean, I got these guys I got 4 or 5 guys, and okay, yeah, I'm here for 4, and they give me 1. And so I learned my lesson the first time we started with James. It's like, man, they just fall like dominoes, man, in and out. I mean, his power is just tremendous, but that's something that James has always possessed, is his power. James has one punch knockout power in both hands. So, it's the little things, when facing a guy like Canelo. It's just the little things that I think are going to matter a lot in this fight. And like I told James in the gym, I'm not here to change a fighter. I don't change no fighters that come to me. I add on to the positives that they have, and I kind of pull away from the negatives, and try to make a complete, stable fighter. So James, like I said, we've been working on the little things, just little things here and there that are going to help him, God willing, win this fight. So, but everything's going very well. Like I said, the power is just, it's crazy. That's the only word I can say. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. I mean, I put the body protector on, and it's like not even having the thing on. And like you said, you mentioned, it was a great point. I mean, sometimes it looks like he's barely touching you, and you're just like, oh man, you feel them shots to the body. I came home a few times, and I tell my wife, everybody, go to the other room because I'm not feeling good right now. My body's just aching from them shots, but but James has that animalistic in him, man. He has that fire, man. That when he gets in there, he just turns into a different. He's a pit bull, and that's something we definitely want to keep. We definitely want to keep, and he said previously, when he was with other trainers, they try to kind of move that aside and work on other things. But I said, no, we want to keep that. Ann's done a great job. I got nothing but love for Ann. I've known Ann since I was a young kid. So, I have nothing but love for Ann, and she's done a great job with James, bringing that beast out of him, but I think the excitement of this fight, and James knows how big it is, that beast will be there that night, so we're kind of just touching up on a lot of simple things, not making things too complicated for him, but just working on simple things to make him more a complete fighter, the little things. And in my opinion, like I said, the little things are what we're going to count in this fight.
Absolutely. And we know that you're, focused on the task at hand and the strategy, and all that's on your mind, I'm assuming now, is just Canelo Alvarez. What do you think it's going to be like when you see these two guys on stage this Tuesday afternoon, face-to-face? What are you going to be looking for from both fighters?
These are two guys, who are at a very high level in the sport of boxing. So, I see just two guys, just in my opinion, just trying to get it out of the way. Let's look at each other so we can get off the stage and go about our business for camp. Both these guys know how big this fight is. Canelo, I've heard all the negativity of how, James is in activity and, his shoulder surgery and all these things. But when you give a guy like James, who has gone through everything, who that life has thrown every dart possible at a kid from a young age to a man that he is now, when you put an opportunity of a lifetime on the table for him, you better expect. I hear people one-round knockout or short fight. I mean, they're crazy, ridiculously crazy. When you give a kid like that, a man that has gone through everything, that has been in and out of prison, that has grown up without a dad, has just been through it all. You put the opportunity of his lifetime on the table, you better expect that man to wake up and bring it. He's going to bring the heat May 9th. People say what they want. People are going to be introduced to me, the world of boxing. So one thing I don't want to start off by is lying and bullcrapping people. I'm telling you when I tell you, he's going to bring the heat. He's focused. He's looking sharp in the gym, and he's ready to go. Like I said, he's ready to go. And, Canelo Alvarez better fight every second of every round in this fight. He's not going to get away with fighting a minute out of 3 minutes. It's just not going to happen. James is going to be focused, and he's ready. And I believe in James. I believe in him 100%, and I believe in everybody that's working with him. We're a team, and, we have that mentality where it's kind of us against the world, So we're kind of pulling together, putting our hand in the middle, and just, letting the chips fall where they may.
That's amazing. Rick, we could actually spend an entire hour on the phone with you, man, on the radio, and this is very intriguing stuff. And obviously James is such a perplexing individual, man, I think very misunderstood in a lot of ways. And obviously this is a gentleman whose reputation precedes him. So in your opinion, the time that you've actually spent with James, are, a lot of the negative rumors, are they true in your mind with James? I guess how should I put it? How spontaneous this individual is, or is that largely exaggerated in your mind?
No, yeah, very, very largely exaggerated. James is a great guy with a big heart. He's a tremendous guy. Like I said, he's always very positive. The kids in the gym, they've kind of grown on to him a little bit. They're like, man, he's such a nice guy. And it's funny because when James walks, man, James is outside the gym hitting the bag or talking or warming up, and you just see that he has a huge smile. He's just always smiling and excited, and a lot of positive vibes from him. But man, as soon as he steps in those ropes, that then he turns into the scary James. He turns, but that's a good thing, I guess you can say. But no, he has, like I said, he's always smiling, man. He's very big-hearted, very positive, very happy right now, and I think that means the most right now at the moment, that he's very happy because, he's going to hear a lot of things. He's going to hear negative things and who's Rick Morones or who's Baby. I mean, it is what it is. But, there was a first time, like I mentioned the last time, for everybody. There was a first opportunity for everybody. It was the first time Emmanuel Stewart worked the corner. Freddie Roach, when nobody knew who these guys were, And when it came to the big stage, they showed up. They showed up and, and they proved everybody wrong. And that's what we intend to do. It's like a relationship. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of listeners out there. A lot of them have gone through this, but you have a girlfriend, and your parents don't like her, but you try to keep positive. And you say, you know what, this is the girl I want to be with. Sometimes you gotta sit with your parents and say, I know you disagree with this, but this is the girl for me. This is the girl that I love this woman. I'm happy, I'm confident, I feel good with her. It's the same situation. With our team, people are disagreeing with everything James has done up to this point. Everything, it's a bad move here, it's a bad move there, it's a bad move here. But at the end of the day, we're happy. The relationship our team has is working. We're stable, we're confident, and we're looking for victory May 9th. So it's exciting. It's really exciting. I'm not gonna lie. Reading all these negative comments, it doesn't affect neither of us like one. But like I said, people need to get their mentality correct because they're definitely going to want to tune in May 9th. It's going to be a great fight. You got two elite fighters at this level, and it's going to be a great night of boxing.
Absolutely, guys. It goes down on Saturday, May 9th at Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. It's going to be live on free subscriber HBO, and it's going to be shown live after the replay of Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. So it's going to be a huge audience. Guys, tickets are already on sale as cheap as $10 for the upper deck. So there's no excuse not to make the trip out to Houston, Texas.